as a musician, my life is in flux quite a lot. And I'm not a night owl, but I've had to figure out how to play evening shows and then get up the next morning and try have like a normal 9 to 5, and it just gets a little bit crazy sometimes. So how do you stay healthy when your life is changing all the time? I was in South Australia the other week, and this time round I was determined to figure out ways to stay healthy while travelling, because that seems not so hard in theory, but in practice, so much of what we come to understand as good health involves stuff that we can control or be consistent with: eating the right thing, sleeping at the same time, exercising regularly. There is a pigeon. He's on the move. That's the relevance. The first one is maybe the most important, which is this shift I've made from building routines to building habits. A routine is time-based, and habits are just these things that you stack dependent on triggers. So when I was away, if my routine was to get up at 7 a.m, have breakfast at 7:30, pack this thing for work, and then do this other thing at this time, then that would go out the window and I would have missed early morning run and sleeping in because I was tired from the flight. Do you reckon it moves? Instead, my habit is to get up, have a shower, have breakfast. It's not a routine, because it doesn't have to be at 7 a.m. It can be whenever I wake up, I get up, have a shower, have breakfast. So don't live your life dependent on time if time is always changing on you. So same with going to bed. If my routine is 9 p.m. bedtime, which it is, then on days when I play a gig, that's really impossible. But if my habit is brush your teeth, get into bed, read your book for 20 minutes, go to sleep, I can do that anytime. So swap out routines for habits. That's number one.
Oh, Margarita doesn't dream of money. Oh, Margarita sees no rainy days. Oh, Margarita thought that I was funny. Why do you cling to all the things that change, she said.
Now the next two are pretty simple. Prepare. I packed raisin toast when I went to South Australia. I know that sounds crazy, but that's my normal breakfast in the mornings. Raisin toast with avocado and an egg. And I knew there was a little kitchen where we were staying. I figured while we were there, it would not be hard to buy avocado and egg at some corner store, and I had the normal breakfast like I always have. I also packed my running shoes. I just thought about a couple things that I would try and make sure I did during the week. Third thing, pack a book. Bring something to read in those random hours that you're killing. Best advice I ever got for gigs is when soundcheck is done, don't just sit there and stare at your phone. Have something to read. So I'm currently in the Rocks in Sydney because all my frequent flyer points. Who needs a tripod when you have a wallet? So what could I do with these points before they expire? I could fly to Fiji, but not get home. I could fly to Tasmania, also a one-way trip. So then I thought maybe I could stay somewhere in the city. And what I discovered was I could do 2 nights at a capsule hotel, and call me strange, but a childhood dream of mine was to stay at a capsule hotel. There used to be one on the way to my school when I was a kid. And I would always beg my mum, can we stay there one night? It looks so cool. She'd be like, why? So that's what I'm doing. And it's just fun to do something that I've wanted to do since I was a little girl. Points 4 and a 5. It might cost a bit more to stay healthy, and that's okay. And you might miss out on a few things, and that's okay. And number 6, other people might not get what you're trying to do, and that's okay too. Now you may be wondering, what on earth is a capsule hotel? Hi, it's me. I was behind the arch. The reason you're wondering that would be you're not Asian, so you don't know. Everyone else there is Asian. And then there is me, with my blunnies, my blundstones. I feel so white, and I've been compensating so hard for it. The first night, I went out for dinner at this like pokey hole-in-the-wall Japanese place, and I sat there eating my grilled eel and rice, watching baseball on my phone. I bought a Hokkaido baked cheese tart. I have been to Hokkaido many times, never once ate a baked cheese tart there. Like, do they make baked cheese cakes, tart things in Hokkaido, or do they just market it as that here? I really have no idea. But you know what? Their ramen in Hokkaido, because they're the dairy people, full of butter. It's so good. Full of butter and corn. If you ever go to a ramen shop and you buy one that has corn in it, that's like North Island goodness right there. Anyway, I'm totally, now I'm compensating by trying to prove how Asian I am to a camera on a park bench. I also put on a t-shirt today that says Japanese words on it, and then I headed out for the day, and I realised what was happening, and I had toned it down a bit. I pulled it back, and I went out for a very Western breakfast, and now I feel okay. Anyway, Capsule Hotel. These little pods that you sleep in. It's like just you, and there's like blue light if you want it, and things to plug your things into, and a little table, and it's a small pod for businessmen that just need to sleep for like 3 hours before they go back to the office. But you know what? It's fine. It looks like a spaceship. Back to the video. It will cost a little bit more to get the salad than it will to buy the really easy Subway. Although I did eat Subway in South Australia. Bad example. You know, maybe you don't get to try the 5th Nutella ball flavour that they have on offer. Or maybe the rest of your family watch a fun movie while you're out exercising. I don't know. This is absolutely... I don't know what's happening to this video anymore. You can pull this together in the edit. I believe in you. So by way of offering a summary, a highlight of my South Australia trip was getting up early on the last morning to go for a run with my uncle through the national parks. Could I have done that if I had a routine that dictated what time I get up in the morning and what day of the week I go for a run? Could I have done that if I hadn't thought to pack my running gear? Not everyone in our family understood why we were getting up before sunrise on a big travel day to go for a run, and that's okay. And the last point is this: little things matter. And that doesn't cease to be true just because you're out of town. So if your chiropractor has given you silly little leg exercises to do 3 times a day, just do them 3 times a day. Anyway, it's really windy. I don't even know if the audio for this will work. Oh, I want to go on a ferry. I'm absolutely going to go on a ferry. Oh my gosh. Being an adult, man. It's actually kind of the best. You get to go on ferries. Except you have to pay for it. No.